How's it? Welcome back. So, very off-topic video from what I typically cover in the channel, but I thought it would be fun to go ahead and shoot a quick video for, and that is I'll be going over my favorite movies and TV shows in this video and one to follow. And I was actually thinking this might even spawn its own little like mini series for the channel where I'll essentially just go over my favorite shit in any given category, right? And I could expand this out to just about anything, right? I got movies and TV shows pretty much lined up and ready to go. Could be doing like my favorite YouTube channels, UFC fighters, artists, video games. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know I must have done like my favorite video games of all time at some point on the channel. So yeah, we got that to look forward to. And actually this idea popped into my head because I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels, at least of the past year or so. This guy Zaffy, the cinema vigilante. You gotta check out this dude, man. He's hilarious. He has a bunch of really awesome takes on movies and goes over ways to improve the different storylines or plots within them. Super cool channel. Dope guy too. And so anyway, he was covering his favorite movies and TV shows, and then I ended up getting into a conversation with it with my wife and my kids, and it was just a fun conversation. And then I also found out too, though, is like, obviously as I started to make this list, I keep remembering different movies and shows of shit that I forgot, and I'm like, oh wait, I gotta put that on the list. And then all of a sudden my list got super duper huge. So I tried to dwindle it down as small as I could. I definitely have my number one movie and TV show lined up and ready to go, and then I'll probably just have a whole bunch of honorable mentions and shit in there. But starting out with movies, so we'll go from the bottom up. I'll make you have to wait for my true number one. So starting out with just some honorable mentions, the different movies and things that I can just rattle off really quickly. And this first one is actually one that my older son reminded me about. I'm like, oh wait, that is a classic. I gotta throw that in here. Oh, and I should also say that to me, rewatchability plays a big role in the vast majority of these choices. And so with that in mind, the first honorable mention is the old school first Mortal Kombat movie that came out in the 90s. I love that movie. It still holds up super well. Like showed it to my son years ago. That's why he kind of brought it to mind when I was talking to him about it. Too bad they screwed up like 2 so terribly. But I really did like the reboot or remake they made several years back. And I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat 2 that they're making, focusing on Johnny Cage and stuff. I thought that trailer looked awesome. So the old school Mortal Kombat movie is the first honorable mention. Also got like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Remember, like, I had no clue what that movie was, and then my older brother showed it to me one day, and I was like, oh, that shit's amazing. Kind of along those same lines of movies that my older brother got me into is Snatch. Now, I wasn't even going to put Snatch as an honorable mention. I was going to put that like somewhere in my top 10, but as I kept finding other movies, Snatch kept kind of getting dropped further down the list. Also, to throw some anime in there, we got like Batman Ninja. If you've never seen that movie, it's really amazing. It's great animation style, and then like when you watch the beginning, you think like, okay, how could they top this type of intro to the movie? But then the shit just keeps ratcheting up and getting crazier and crazier and crazier. So Batman Ninja is super dope. If you haven't seen it, absolutely check it out. Also, Dragon Ball Broly. I'm going to throw in a couple Dragon Ball Z, or not necessarily Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball things in there. Really loved that Broly movie. I liked the new art style they put into it. It was the first Dragon Ball movie that I got to ever watch in theaters. Remember, like, me and my son set aside time to go and watch it. Super great. Next up, I'm going to still, I guess, in the honorable mention section, got to throw in some Quentin Tarantino movies in there. He's one of my favorite directors. So we got Reservoir Dogs, Hateful Eight, and of course Pulp Fiction, absolute classics. Then when I was thinking about Quentin Tarantino, it made me think about another director that I really like, that being Robert Rodriguez. So I got 2 movies from him in there, Desperado and Machete. Okay, now getting to my actual top list. So this part is relatively in order. Okay, so 7, if you've never seen that old school movie, another Brad Pitt movie like Snatch and whatnot. Super great movie. Kevin Spacey's in there. There's a really crazy ending. I won't spoil it for you, but absolutely watch it. It's about the 7 deadly sins. Classic. Then we got another Brad Pitt movie in there, Fight Club, of course. That's an obvious instant classic. I'm waiting for the day to when I can show that to my older son. I'm sure he would really get a kick out of it. Next up at, I guess I'll start counting these. So number 6 is Inception. Obviously an amazing movie, especially being the, my channel. No brainer, I would really love that. I bet you can guess where another movie kind of related to it being all trippy and things being in their mind. It's going to be on that list coming up later. But anyway, so we got Inception. Then some Arnold movies are in here as well. So Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I showed that to my older son years ago. He really liked it, and I was telling him like that was the first time where I was like in a movie theater with my family, and then I was crying in the end when Arnold's going down and he gives a thumb up. Training Day. Man, Training Day was going to be higher up on that list, but just as I kept getting my top 3 or 4 movies, Training Day kind of dropped down some. But Training Day, my favorite Denzel Washington movie by a million miles. He played a bad guy in that movie. Don't know if I should spoil it for anyone, but Training Day is amazing. Then we got 300. And like the top 3, man, the top 3 were really hard for me. These kept changing order. But at number 3, I got 300. Obviously amazing, very manly man's movie. Very, very rewatchable. So 300's in there. Then at number 2, and I would venture a guess that probably some people watching this would probably have assumed this would have been my number 1. But number 2 for me is Matrix. Keanu Reeves is awesome. Oh my God, I forgot John Wick. Oh shit. Okay, so the first John Wick movie, man, that might be actually number 2. Now, okay, so I'll put the first John Wick movie after 300, but before the Matrix. Okay, so we got 300, John Wick, the first one. Then we got Matrix, and then my number 1 movie of all time. It's the most rewatchable movie ever, in my opinion, and that being the first Predator movie with Arnold. Has the most epic handshake ever, where him and the I forget the actor's name. I think he was also like a football player guy, but they do this handshake and their biceps are bulging, and it's so awesome. I love that movie. So many like one-liners in there, like get to the chopper, stick around when he whips the knife into that bad guy and sticks him to the pole. Love that movie. And what's funny is like as I rewatched it, because I remember I used to watch that, like my parents would let us watch rated R movies and things like that, and I loved Predator back then. But now that I'm watching it now and you listen to some of those jokes and just how incredibly inappropriate they are, man, it trips me out. And like I do remember when I showed my older boy Predator for the first time, when he was way too young for it. But I remember thinking about that joke. I was thinking like, well, I guess he's so young it's gonna fly right over his head. So I did show him that movie. He really likes it as well. Oh fuck, another one, Conan the Destroyer, another Arnold movie I really like. That's very rewatchable. Okay, screw it. Conan's got to go in there somewhere too. That would definitely not be the honorable mentions for me. That'd be somewhere in the top 10. But yeah, see? I keep forgetting movies that I want to add in there. But anyway, that's my list. Number 1 is still number 1 no matter what. That being the first Predator movie. Absolutely love that movie to death. And yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Until the next video, keep your movies, I guess, legit.